chemical properties. Under chemical properties, we did substitution reaction.
Yes. What is a substitution reaction?
Ma'am, the hydrogen atoms are replaced by halogens, nitro group or sulfonic acid group.
Okay. But the common one is substitution with halogens because lower members they substitute only halogens. Nitro and sulfonic acid is not very common in lower members. So we'll be looking only for halogenation.
Yes.
And then?
Ma'am, then we did halogenation. And after that we did combustion.
Yeah, halogenation is like you can have a chain reaction. In one step at a time, one hydrogen will be replaced with halogen, and the reaction may continue until all the hydrogen can be replaced with the halogen. So it's like a continuous chain reaction. Then we discussed that the order of the reaction for alkenes, for alkane, the order is tertiary to secondary to primary. The order tertiary alkenes undergo substitution faster than secondary and primary. And with respect to halogens, the order of the reaction is fluorine, chlorine, bromine, and iodine. That is substitution reaction with fluorine is faster than chlorine, bromine, or iodine. Then second one was combustion, and here irrespective of the type of the compound you're taken, like you will be getting carbon dioxide and water are the major products in all the complete combustion, and they give a lot of energy, and that is the reason why alkanes are used as fuels. So I think this was the last thing we discussed, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then let's continue in the combustion. When combustion takes place incompletely due to the insufficient amount of air or oxygen, then instead of carbon dioxide, what you will be getting is carbon black. That is carbon in solid state, which is carbon black. So which is used basically for manufacture of printer ink, black pigments, filters, etc. So that is what the carbon black. So here incomplete combustion, that is insufficient amount of air or oxygen, then instead of carbon dioxide, what you will get is carbon, and water will be there as normal. It's supposed to be carbon dioxide and water are the combustion products of alkanes, but instead of carbon dioxide, under the insufficient amount of air or oxygen, you will be getting carbon and water. So based on the question, you have to write the equation. Complete combustion means it's always carbon dioxide and water. These are the common products for all the alkanes on combustion. But incomplete combustion means instead of carbon dioxide, the product will be form of a carbon, that is carbon black and H2O. So just add this equation and point also in your notes for the incomplete combustion of alkanes due to the insufficient amount of oxygen or air present. After the combustion, it will be water, same product water you will get, but instead of carbon dioxide here, carbon is being formed. So that is about
generally combustion. Ma'am, so generally incomplete combustions will happen for saturated compounds, right? Because the bond is very strong.
No, incomplete mean the amount of oxygen is the restrictive factor. That is the limiting reagent, oxygen. If oxygen is not available, the molecule can't undergo oxidation. That is, combustion is an example of oxidation. Like they take oxygen. Combustion is anything reacting with oxygen. That is what combustion means. Without oxygen, there is no combustion. That is why we used to say oxygen is the gas required for the combustion, or any substance, if you want to ignite, a flame is required, mean the oxygen should be there. Without the oxygen, combustion is not possible. So combustion mean any substance, alkane or anything what you take, when they react with oxygen, that reaction is combustion. So if the amount of oxygen is less, then combustion will be partially done, and this is what the expected product under insufficient amount of oxygen.
So it doesn't matter whether it's an unsaturated compound or saturated compound, right?
Yeah, that is different thing. Here you will be getting is carbon and water. The type of the bond is a different thing. Here it's about amount of oxygen, that is what limiting factor.
Ma'am, is carbon and carbon black and soot the same thing, or are they two different things?
It's same thing, only almost similar thing, but slight difference in their arrangement.
Oh, okay, ma'am.
Soot is like somewhat more like a powdery thing, like
Oh, so ma'am,
you know that it's
yeah, ma'am. So this is solid compared to soot.
here also it is in the solid form only,
Okay.
but not like that powdery consistency. That's what I understand.
Okay.
Is there a possibility that carbon monoxide can be?
Carbon monoxide will be formed, but here the preferred product of alkane is this one. Carbon monoxide also will be forming slightly, because that will be like poisonous. But they prefer in this way if the sufficient amount of oxygen is too less for the oxidation. Always there will be some byproducts in this reaction. Carbon monoxide can be formed, but from alkane they prefer to get in this way. Because next reaction is incomplete oxidation, controlled oxidation. So we'll see what happens over there. Okay. So the third reaction is controlled oxidation. Here the difference between incomplete oxidation and controlled oxidation is that here you are controlling the reaction, combustion reaction, by regulating the supply of oxygen. How much oxygen you required, that you are controlling, and by providing it only a regulated amount. Okay. But if you're burning something in open air or in a closed area, in a closed room, you are burning something. Say example, you're burning a piece of or any gas, alkene gas or butane gas inside a closed room, but there is the amount of oxygen is very less. In such cases, it is incomplete oxidation. But controlled oxidation means you are making them undergo combustion or oxidation by controlling the amount. From your side, you're controlling. That means industrially, you're controlling, only supplying a restricted amount of oxygen and controlling the reaction. That is what they meant by controlled oxidation. So here what happens is like alkanes on heating with regulated supply of oxygen, mean a controlled amount of oxygen in the presence of suitable catalyst will give you different types of products. As you can see over here, few examples are given. Methane CH4 on oxidation, in presence of copper, you are getting methanol. This is a very important reaction for even for the next year when you are learning alcohol. This is a very important reaction, that methane on oxidation in presence of copper catalyst gives you methanol. But same methane on oxidation, but the condition is here molybdenum oxide, that is MO2O3, molybdenum oxide, you are getting methanol, HCHO. That is an aldehyde. So you can prepare an aldehyde, you can prepare an alcohol. Only thing is that you have to change the catalyst provided. And the third example, that is where ethane on oxidation in presence of manganese acetate, you are getting ethanoic acid. That means again a carboxylic acid. So the different types of products are possible when you do the controlled oxidation with alkane using different types of catalyst. So based on the catalyst will decide what type of product you will get. If you're using copper at 100 atm and 523 Kelvin condition, you will get alcohol, that is methanol here. And if you're using molybdenum oxide, they prefer formation of aldehydes. And when you prepare, use manganese acetate, then it will be carboxylic acid. So just look into all these three examples. There are many different possibilities, but these three is enough, and it will be helpful next year in explaining the preparations of alcohols, aldehydes, and carboxylic acid. That's why I said it's all these reactions are interconnected. The same reaction when you will learn when you talk about alcohol and its preparation. So here we are learning as a reaction of alkene, but in next year for the chapter alcohol, you will learn as a preparation method for alcohol, but the same reaction. Am I clear with this?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so controlled oxidation means you are regulating the amount of oxygen supplying for the combustion reaction, that is oxidation or reaction of with oxygen. So whatever you get is dependent on the catalyst you are using. If you are using copper catalyst with high temperature and pressure, alcohols will be formed. If you are using molybdenum oxide, then aldehyde will be formed. And if you are using manganese acetate, then you will be getting carboxylic acid. So that is how you will get different types of product from same alkene using the controlled oxidation method. So that is the third reaction of alkanes. So now let's move to the fourth one. Okay, before we go into the fourth one, under the controlled oxidation, there are fourth variety. That is, if you look into all these controlled oxidation equation, okay, here you can see there is, we are writing oxygen, oxygen, oxygen. That means you're directly passing oxygen gas in presence of different catalyst. So it could be copper, it could be molybdenum oxide, it could be manganese acetate. Only thing is that you're directly passing oxygen gas and different catalysts are used, and you will get different product based on that catalyst that you have taken. But there are one more time of oxidation is possible where you're not using oxygen, but instead you will be using oxidizing agent. That is what here it says that you can do an oxidation using oxidizing agent like KMnO4. KMnO4 is potassium permanganate, or you can say it's a potassium manganate solution, KMnO4. So basically tertiary alkanes, that is carbon with 3 alkyl groups, that is the tertiary carbon, and there will be 1 hydrogen. So these kind of alkanes which has got a tertiary arrangement can undergo oxidation in presence of oxidizing agents like KMnO4, and what you get is an alcohol. So you can see H is gone out and OH has been come in. So this is like formation of an alcohol by simply using oxidizing agents like potassium permanganate. So this is also controlled oxidation because you're not using oxygen directly. You're adding a source of oxygen in the form of KMnO4. This will be helping to act as an oxidizing agent. Helps in the oxidation. Oxidizing agents mean something which helps in the oxidation. So these are the 4 different examples to discuss under controlled oxidation.
Ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am, like in each of these you're using methyl. So if we use ethyl and use the same catalyst, can we get the higher like aldehyde or alcohol?
You're talking about these examples, right? So that means if you are
Yes.
using C2H6 ethane, and if you do molybdenum oxide means you are supposed to get aldehyde. So aldehyde from this compound will be CH3CHO, right? 2 carbon aldehyde. So molybdenum oxide is preferably for aldehyde, copper is preferably for alcohol, and manganese acetate will be preferably for preparing carboxylic acid. It is in that way. Okay. So catalyst has a tendency of controlling the type of product. Okay. Let's move to the fourth reaction of alkane, that is isomerization.
Ma'am, could you
What do
please
you
show the
mean?
previous slide for just 1 second?
Yeah.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. Isomerization, it's actually very easy one. When you look in the equation, you may get confused, but actually it's very easy. That means if you have a hexane, CH3, CH2, 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 CH3, 6 carbon, and we write it as normal hexane. Normal hexane mean all the carbons in single chain, there is no branch. That is why we write N-hexane. So when you have a 6 carbon compound, and it can be divided on treatment with anhydrous aluminum chloride in presence of HCl, it can be converted into its isomers. Isomers mean same molecular formula but different arrangement. So normal hexane is C6H14, that is the molecular formula. So the product will have same molecular formula C6H14, but the difference is that you can have 5 carbons in a chain. Okay, and 1 branch. Rest will be same. Total number of carbon and hydrogen will be same, but only thing is that it will just make changes in the arrangement. It was all the 6 carbon in a single straight chain, but after isomerization, you are getting 2 methyl pentane, that is second carbon with the methyl group and a 5 carbon chains, and 3 methyl pentane. Or you can get some more product like 4 carbons with 2 branches. So this also 6 carbon compound, but it is an isomer of a hexane. So isomer mean the number of carbon and hydrogen is same, only the arrangement is different. So normal hexane was having 6 carbon in a straight chain, continuous chain, but after isomerization reaction, the product will have same number of carbon and hydrogen, but the difference is that the number of chains, carbon atom in the chain will be different. So here they have shown an example where 5 carbon chain with 1 branch, and the another possibility the same way, and you will get more product. Here they have just shown 2, doesn't mean that this is the only isomers. You can have the other format also. Plus you can have this compound CH3, 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 CH3. This is another isomer of normal hexane, because here also 1, 2, 3, 4 carbons in a chain, and you will get 2 branches also, right? So isomerization is like simply converting a normal alkanes, that is a long chain carbon compound, to its isomers with branches. So 6 carbon chain can have a 5 carbon chain with 1 branch as an isomer, or it could be 4 carbon chain with 2 branches. Like that, different possibilities there, but you will get mix of product because more than 1 isomers are possible. So look into the condition, it is aluminum chloride and HCl.
Ma'am, it's and or? Because it's
And
written and
plus and. Many products at the same time. It's not or. You will
Ma'am,
get.
ma'am, so when we write it, we'll just write any two of the isomers.
Yeah, that's it. Or sometime no, when there is a conversion, you will write only what is required for you. You don't have to write all the products. Say example, they will ask you to convert this to that. So you can just do isomerization if possible, and then you write only what is required. Say example, let's do next one. Say you got a pen name. CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. This is a normal pen name. So what are the different isomers formed after isomerization with anhydrous aluminum chloride and HCl? So you can have this compound CH3, CH3, CH2, CH3. This is 2-bromo butane, right? Is there any other isomer possible for normal pentane? Is there any other possibility?
Yeah, I'm like both CH2 on one C atom.
So that will be 3 carbon with 2 branches, right?
Yes, ma'am.
It will be 2,3-dimethyl propane. So this is also another possibility of isomer. So isomerization means normal long chain compound on treating with aluminum chloride and HCl can be isomerized to get a branched chain alkanes. So always it will be mix of product. You will get mostly it will be more than one product. And when it goes to higher alkanes, the number of products increases. So here for normal pentane, this is the 2 possibilities. So you'll get both the products. But for normal hexane, there will be more possibilities there. When it comes to heptane, octane, nonane, octane, the number of branched chain alkane isomers increases. So it's mix of many products.
Ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, then for hexane, there'll be more products other than these two, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. You can have this, they have just shown 5 carbon with 1 branch. You can have 4 carbon with 2 branches. That is also possible. Even in the textbook, they have written like that, asking you to write down and try your different product. They have just given you an example. You can have more way. Let's look into the butane. For butane, after isomerization,
And
the
butane
only
will only have one more other than the linear structure.
product is possible. That's what this 2-methyl propane. There is no other possibility. So in this case, you have only one product. For pentane, we found it is 2. For hexane, it will be 3 different products. Right? So like that, when the number of carbon atom in normal alkane increases, after isomerization, the number of products you get also increases. Okay. The next one, again, it's an easy one, even though it looked like little confusing. That is aromatization. Aromatization means the normal long chain organic compound can be converted into aromatic compound. So aromatic compound I have told you already. Think about benzene only because you are looking only for benzene for aromatic compound. So you need a benzene. Benzene is C6H6. That means you need to start with 6 carbon alkane. What is the 6 carbon alkane? Which is a 6 carbon alkane? Hexane. So you need to start with 6 carbon alkane because your benzene is 6 carbon. So it will be CH3, CH2, 4 CH2s, then CH3. The same compound is just written in this way. This is same, identical, but they are just arranged and the reaction happens at the two ends so that you get a closed chain compound. So normal hexane, okay, because based on the type of aromatic compound you are required, you need to take correspondingly alkane. There are different aromatic compounds, 7 members, 8 member chain, 10 members chain is there, but we are focusing only on benzene as an aromatic compound, so which has got 6 carbon. That is why we are learning only the reaction of benzene preparation. Okay, so here as benzene to be prepared mean you need to take hexane with 6 carbon atom. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 carbon, just like a normal chain only, they are just written in this format. But on the reaction with oxide of chromium, vanadium or molybdenum, any of these oxide, and high temperature of 773 to Kelvin and 10 to 20 atmospheric pressure, this first and the sixth carbon joins together to get a ring kind structure with alternative position containing single and double bond. So this reaction, particular reaction, is known as aromatization or reforming. That means a long chain compound has converted into a cyclic compound. So this catalysts are important in converting this kind of reaction. So minimum 6 carbon. There is no 5 carbon aromatic compound. So hexane is the minimum lowest member that you have to take. 6 carbon. You can take 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. That is based on which aromatic compound you have to prepare. But as I said, you have to focus only on benzene. So we will discuss only the preparation of benzene or aromatization for the preparation of benzene only here. So 6 carbon hexane undergo aromatization reaction to give you benzene in presence of oxides of chromium, vanadium or molybdenum. Any one is fine. So it's like two ends combines to get a cyclic structure. First and the sixth carbon atom joins to get a cyclic structure, and some of the hydrogens also will be removed to get a double bond and single bond in the alternative position. Again, it's a very easy reaction because you are learning only one example over here for the preparation of benzene. That is enough. Let me ask a question. I have to prepare this compound using aromatization. So what should be my starting material? How can I prepare this particular compound using aromatization? Huh?
Heptane, not sure.
Heptane, if you are taking heptane, the problem is that then one and the first and the seventh carbon will combine and you get a 7-membered ring, not a benzene ring. So it should be hexane, but hexane with one branch.
With the alkyl, okay. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, so for benzene, it should be hexane ring, but benzene with branch mean you should get hexane with one branch. For example, instead of taking normal thing, you take this one. So this is first and sixth. Always the carbons at the ends will combine. So 6 carbon chain in benzene, but one of the position you will have a methyl group. So it should be one branch in the hexane to get this product. Is that clear? So example, if I am telling you to prepare this compound using aromatization method, there are different methods. If I want you to use aromatization from alkenes, then instead of chlorine, methyl group, it should be chlorine, right? So same compound can be prepared in different way, but if it is aromatization is to be used, then to benzene it is hexane. But if there is a branches on the benzene mean, then there should be branches on the hexane as well. You cannot take a heptane or octane to get benzene. That is how it goes. I hope I made myself clear in this. Yes?
Yes, ma'am. No, I think it is over.
Okay. So thank you. We'll continue day after with the reactions of alkene. If possible, I might take 0 period to complete this.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Please
All right, ma'am.
complete your
Thank you.
work and upload. Okay. I'll be
Sure.
checking that on this day.
And where do we
Please.
upload it, ma'am?
I have made a folder in the files chemistry channel. Please
Got
upload
it.
it there.
Okay, ma'am. All right.
Ma'am, which chapter?
Ma'am,
Organic compounds?
yeah.
Yeah, from organic first chapter. This is the second chapter hydrocarbon. So first chapter
Alright,
full
ma'am.
notes and worksheet and etc.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Happy Republic Day.
Same to you, ma'am.
Happy Republic Day.
Same to you.
Same to you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.